Hey guys, I'm Kimmy Shields. You know what you should do? Smash that subscribe button to Hollywire now.
What's up, Hollywire? Today in the studio we have Kimmy Shields.
Hello!
Woo! How's it going?
It's going great. I'm just gonna take a snooze on your nice couch and we'll
Super
just
into it.
hang out.
So you were in Insatiable.
Yeah.
You play Nani.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite person to work with? How was the whole experience?
I mean,
There's too many people on
how
that
do you
set.
even answer that question? Because I fell in love with literally everybody that worked on that show. But because I played Debby Ryan's best friend on the show, she is the person I worked with the most, therefore just circumstantially was around. And I can say that I am madly in love with that woman. She is first of all, the smartest person I've ever met in my life, and just very intuitive to the environment around her, very aware of how people feel and very respectful of that. And also what's cool about her is that we're the same age, but she's been famous for 10 more years and working for 10 more years than I have. So to see somebody who's your age already entering a room with so much wisdom and so much experience is very both intimidating and very empowering. And I really loved the way that she could just command the authority of a room in the most respectful way and still leave room for a lot of conversation and, you know, just make everybody feel good about themselves and their jobs and really lift each other up and just really steer the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really positive experience on set.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm really excited for Ad Astra.
Me too.
What was it like on that one? I'm gonna fangirl a little bit because I think Brad Pitt is super hot.
He is like wine. He gets better with age. Seeing him in person was like, is that what a Greek statue looks like? Like just perfect and flawless and designed by God. Like you don't look like that without a little bit of cosmic help, you know what I mean? But that was that was one of those this is happening, this is my life, holy cow, because getting to interact and work with Brad Pitt and Donald Sutherland, they were both super funny and just super charming, of course, and Brad Pitt, and it's so weird to put our names in the same sentence because it still doesn't feel real, but we would kind of, goof off screen at the end of takes, whatever, do some shtick together because I have a severe addiction to shtick. And so it was just this lovely rapport going on, and by the end of the day, they got everything they needed out of me. They were ready to send me on my merry way, and then they said, let's get Brad Pitt and Donald out of their suits because this movie happens in space. They're wearing space suits. It's a documentary. They were like, let's get them out of their suits, and Brad Pitt walks by me and sort of fist bumps me and goes, hey, you're good. And I said, you're good too. You should really think about doing this professionally. And he laughed and walked away, and then I immediately turned around and was like, say, that's Brad Pitt. And then a week later got a phone call that he had sent his executive of development after my agent to set up a meeting with the two of us. So the moral of that story is if there is shtick, find it and write it. Although I was afraid when my agent called me that I severely upset him because he called me and just said, so what happened with Brad Pitt? And immediately I was like, oh my God, dude, I was just trying to make a joke. I wasn't trying to, oh God. And then he was like, because, and then followed it up with this really exciting
That's so mean to
thing.
do. Okay, so let's talk about Charlie Says.
Okay,
cool.
Let's talk about it.
It's pretty epic. I am super excited for this one.
Yeah.
How was it working with that cast?
It was brief, so I actually didn't work on it until after pretty much the entire movie had been shot. I was cast to do some additional scenes, pickups as they call them, and so I only actually worked with Merritt Wever, one of the stars of the film, and then another gal who I believe was there as briefly as I was. So it was a very quick process. We met for a rehearsal, which was very, that's a nice privilege in film world to actually meet outside of a set before you work to talk about the material and rehearse it and get it into your bones. Because usually in TV land, rehearsal is figuring out where you're standing and to make sure you're not blocking somebody's head or in somebody's light. And because my background is theater, which the process is mostly rehearsal and then this brief amount of performances, it's a very nice experience to get to melt the two together and actually have the time to talk about it. So that was a really cool experience. And then shooting, we were in Lancaster at a prison. It was 115 degrees on a Saturday, and we were wearing, you know, nice vintage knits. So I was just soaking it all up, but in those extraneous circumstances was a very lovely, supportive crew and just a great group of people to work with all day. It was great.
And thank you so much for coming in the studio today.
Oh my gosh,
it was such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me to hang out, you guys. This was a blast.
Make sure to like, subscribe, watch the next video, and we'll see you next time.